Okay, let's think about your daily work for a second. Your team, your business strategy. How quickly is all that technology changing things for you? It feels like we've been talking about AI, for ages now, but lately,
Ah,
well, something feels different, doesn't it?
yeah, it really does. Like a threshold's been crossed.
Exactly. We've definitely moved AI from like those interesting little side projects into, well, full-blown disruption.
No question.
So today, we're going to do a deep dive into these latest really significant shifts in AI. We want to look particularly at how they're impacting UK businesses, financial services, and maybe especially SMEs.
Right.
And our mission, really, is to give you a shortcut, a way to understand these crucial developments and, importantly, what they actually mean for your workflow, your strategy.
And we've pulled together insights from, various recent reports, observations that really highlight this acceleration.
Yeah, focusing on the practical side, right? Not just the hype.
Exactly. What can you actually do with it? And what's fascinating, I think, is that these aren't just small upgrades here and there. Our analysis is pointing towards these clear pressure points. They're like undeniable signals of a huge tide coming in.
A tide? Or maybe more like a tsunami.
Huh. Yeah, maybe an AI tsunami is a better way to put it. It feels that fundamental changing how we work at its core.
Okay, so this tsunami, you're saying it's hitting across what, 3 main areas?
That's what we're seeing, 3 distinct pressure points.
All right, let's get into the first one then. You're calling it the McKinsey moment. AI for strategic analysis.
That's right.
I think I saw something about this online. What was that viral post? Someone showing how just like 3 prompts in ChatGPT or Gemini could basically replicate high-end consulting work.
Yeah, exactly that. Using tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, maybe Grok. And the kicker,
For free? For free. Wow. Just think about what that implies for, traditional strategy consulting. Or even just your own internal planning session.
it's huge. But if we connect it to the bigger picture, it's not really about AI completely replacing human strategic thinking. Not yet, anyway.
Okay, so what is it about then?
It's about removing friction. Think about it. Strategic analysis, that stuff used to be locked behind, like you said, expensive contracts, 6-figure NDAs, massive 80-slide PowerPoint decks.
Right. Takes ages.
Exactly. And now, it's accessible to basically anyone who can write a decent prompt and has, maybe 20 minutes.
20 minutes versus weeks or months. That really democratizes things, doesn't it?
It really does. Access to high-level strategic insights is opening up.
Okay, but let's be practical. For SMEs, small and medium businesses, they're often short on time, short on budget. How easy is it really for them to just pick this up? Can they actually run a, quote, SWOT analysis in a lunch break?
Yeah.
Are there pitfalls?
It's actually incredibly practical, the pitfalls, mostly around expectation management, I'd say. These tools give you amazing raw analysis, but you still need human judgment to interpret and apply it correctly.
Makes sense.
But yes, for SMEs, they absolutely can now get those high-level views of competitive dynamics. They can spot white space in the market and, run a pretty decent SWOT analysis in a lunch break. It's a massive head start.
And what about bigger players? Financial services, for instance.
Well, there it means analysts can shift their focus. Instead of spending all their time just pulling data, which is laborious,
A grunt work.
they can actually spend more time shaping strategy. And in a regulated space like finance, where you need precision and speed, that's not just nice to have. It's becoming an essential edge.
Okay, so that's strategy. Moving on, the second pressure point you identified. This sounds quite different. It's about customer interaction, the rise of the AI influencer.
Yeah, this one's pretty wild. There was this example from China.
Oh, I heard about this. 2 digital avatars, right? Selling millions.
That's the one. Sold, get this, $7.65 million worth of products in one live stream. And they literally outsold human influencers. No breaks, no blinking, just selling.
Crazy. But okay, beyond just online shopping, what's the deeper implication here?
Well, you have to ask yourself, what does this level of scale, continuity, and believability mean for your customer interactions? This isn't just a gimmick.
Right.
Think about an avatar that's perfectly trained on your brand's tone, body language, maybe even past engagement data for personalization. It can connect with a massive audience consistently.
Okay, so paint me a picture. How does this translate to, say, a UK business, like a bank or an insurance company? Sure. Or advisors for SMEs?
Well, imagine a mortgage assistant who's always available, always patient, always perfectly on brand, and crucially, never gets tired.
Okay, I can see the appeal there. No waiting on hold.
Exactly. Or for your internal content teams, think about the ability to test video messages with zero production cost, just generate variations instantly.
That's powerful for marketing.
Definitely. Now, you don't necessarily need to rush out and build an avatar tomorrow, but the message from the data is clear. You, the listener, really need to start considering where virtual humans fit into your brand experience.
Especially where?
Especially in those frontline sales or service roles. If you're not even thinking about it, well, the trend suggests you might already be late.
Oof. Okay, that's a stark warning.
Yeah.
Right, pressure point number 3. This one feels maybe less flashy, but potentially more fundamental. ChatGPT isn't a toy anymore, it's infrastructure.
Exactly. And the biggest shift here actually came pretty quietly.
How so?
It was when OpenAI rolled out updates, making their tools, especially things like Project and Canvas, which are more enterprise-focused, making them fully exportable, adding serious research capabilities, and enabling voice interaction across both mobile and desktop.
Okay, that sounds like a technical update, but why is that the thing that shifts AI from just a helpful assistant into, as you say, a core productivity layer?
Because it moves AI from being this separate thing you dip into occasionally into something that's embedded in how you actually do your work. It's becoming part of the workflow foundation.
It's not just a website you visit anymore.
Precisely. It's integrating into the fabric of daily operations.
So let's ground this again. For SME founders, they're juggling so much. How does this actually help them day to day, like today? Can you give an example?
Sure. It means ChatGPT or similar tools can now genuinely do the grunt work of, say, your research analyst, maybe even your project manager or your brand strategist, and it's all accessible right there on your phone.
Always on, always available.
Yeah, ready to help with tasks that used to eat up hours. And for bigger companies, banks, for example, their internal teams can use these integrated tools to get to insight, compliance prep, or content faster than ever before.
So the takeaway is?
The takeaway is, this isn't a side app. It's where work now happens. It fundamentally speeds up those internal processes.
Okay, wow. So we've got strategy being democratized, customer interaction being automated at scale, and AI becoming actual work infrastructure. That's a lot.
It is. It's a profound shift.
So the big question then.
No.
What should leaders in the UK, what should you listening, actually do about all this? What are the practical, actionable steps?
Okay, yeah, let's break that down based on what the analysis suggests. For financial services firms, you should be seriously looking at deploying AI avatars or scripted agents for client queries. Even if it's just handling the simple stuff, it can massively reduce support volumes.
Right, free up human agents for complex issues.
Exactly. Also, use those prompt-led strategic analysis tools we talked about. Get your internal consulting or strategy teams running competitor or regulatory reviews weekly, not quarterly. Imagine that speed of intelligence gathering.
Weekly instead of quarterly.
Yeah. And definitely start trials with projects and Canvas, those integrated OpenAI tools or similar platforms to see how they can improve internal process work and content operations. Just start experimenting.
Okay, that's for finance. What about SMEs? They need to be nimble, right?
Absolutely. For SMEs, the advice is pretty direct. Replace outsourced research and basic consultancy with AI workflows. Seriously, the data suggests you often don't need that £300K consultancy budget anymore. You might just need, 3 really good prompts.
3 good prompts versus £300K. That's disruptive.
Hugely. Also, use avatars and video tools to scale your marketing without needing a hefty agency retainer. Get your message out there more efficiently.
And you mentioned mobile earlier.
Yes, critically. Push mobile-first AI use. Use these tools on the go. For SMEs, speed is your natural advantage over larger, slower corporations. Leverage that.
So use the phone in your pocket as a strategic weapon, basically.
Kind of, yeah. That mobility and instant access is key for agile teams.
Okay, that's specific advice for finance and SMEs. But is there any universal advice, something that applies to everyone, no matter the sector or size?
Yes, definitely. 3 key things stand out. First, train your team. This is vital. It's not just plugging in new tech. It's a fundamental skill shift. People need to learn how to work with these tools effectively.
It's about competence, not just access.
Exactly. Second, set rules now.
Yeah.
Establish guidelines for how AI is used. It should be there to increase quality and accountability. It should augment human capability, but it shouldn't replace judgment. Define those boundaries early.
Good governance is key.
Absolutely. And finally, don't get seduced by the shiny. There are always new AI features popping up. It's easy to get distracted.
Shiny object syndrome.
Right. Instead, invest in the workflows that actually save time and drive measurable outcomes.
Yeah.
Focus on the practical application, the real impact on your bottom line or efficiency.
Makes sense. Focus on the value, not just the novelty. Okay, so let's just quickly recap then. We've seen this massive shift. AI isn't optional anymore. It's becoming foundational infrastructure. Consultants are probably feeling a bit nervous. Influencers are literally being automated. And AI is working overtime, fundamentally changing how businesses operate.
That sums it up pretty well.
So maybe a final provocative thought to leave everyone with.
I think it comes down to this. The threat isn't the tech itself. It's getting outpaced by it.
That's powerful. It's not about the AI. It's about your speed of adoption relative to competitors.
Exactly.
So the call to action for you listening is really to consider your own context. If you're here in the UK, maybe you're in a crowded market, you've got a lean team, but you also have ambitious goals. Then this isn't just something interesting to read about. This moment feels like an imperative, doesn't it?
It really does.
It's time not to dabble, to move. So maybe take a moment after this to reflect. Where can you start integrating these kinds of insights and tools into your work, into your organization, maybe starting today?